He never raised his voice. He never told her what to do. And that's why it took her so long to realize this was never love. At first, he felt different, not intense, not dramatic, just attentive. He remembered small details, listened without interrupting, made her feel seen in a way she hadn't before. And that's how it always begins, not with control, but with comfort. When they met, he never rushed her, no pressure, no jealousy, no obvious red flags. In fact, he seemed almost too understanding. If she went out with friends, he smiled and said, "Have fun." If she didn't reply for hours, he said, "I figured you were busy." She told herself she'd finally met someone secure. What she didn't realize was that control doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it waits. The changes were small enough to ignore. He started saying things like, "I just worry about you," or "They don't really treat you well." He never told her to stop seeing anyone. He just questioned them, quietly. Over time, she began to notice something strange. After spending time with friends, she felt off, not because they had done anything wrong, but because his disappointment lingered in silence. He never argued, never demanded. He simply withdrew. And she learned without being told what behavior brought him closer and what pushed him away. This is where control becomes invisible. Because the human brain is wired to avoid emotional loss. When affection disappears without explanation, we search for the cause. And when we think we caused it, we adjust. Not because we're weak, but because we're human. Slowly, her world began to shrink. Not by force, but by choice. She stopped sharing certain thoughts. They upset him. She avoided certain people. They changed her mood. She second-guessed reactions. He was more mature. And each time she adapted, he rewarded her with warmth. Attention, approval, the kind that feels like relief. That's when love becomes conditional. He didn't control her actions. He controlled the emotional consequences. And that's far more effective. There was never a moment she could point to and say, "This is wrong, that was the problem." From the outside, everything looked healthy. But inside, she felt smaller, quieter, less herself. And the most confusing part, he never asked her to change. She just learned which version of herself was easier to love. People like this don't want chaos, they want dependence. Not dramatic obedience, but emotional alignment. When someone begins adjusting their identity to preserve peace, control has already worked. The realization didn't come during a fight. It came during silence. She was alone one evening, scrolling through old messages, old photos, and she noticed something unsettling. She used to laugh more, speak freely, disagree without fear. Somewhere along the way, love had turned into management, and she was managing herself. He never said, "Do this, don't do that." He didn't need to. By the time she noticed, she was already doing it for him. Because this was never about love. Love doesn't require shrinking. This was about control. Quiet, patient, and invisible. And the most dangerous part, it never looks dangerous. While you're inside it, stories like this happen quietly, every day. If you want to understand the patterns behind them, subscribe to Unspoken Patterns